Hey everyone, my name is Marlene and this is my making podcast. Welcome to episode 29. Today I'll try and keep it short and sweet. I hope you have some like a project with you, some crochet, some knitting, some sewing, some spinning, whichever it is. I am feeling a bit poorly. I have a sore throat today, so I've not spoken many words today until now, and I'll try to not kind of like overstretch it to not feel worse later or tomorrow. But I have quite a bit of progress on my current whips. I don't have a knitted finished object today, but I have my first finished sewing garment, sewn garment that I really want to show you because I'm actually quite proud of it. So let's start with all my works in progress. And I actually have some shuffling around of plans as well, and a tiny bit of acquisitions. I was in Cologne and I wanted to show you some of the making stuff that I got there. So yeah, let's get started. One of my biggest progress, so I think these last 2 weeks, has definitely been on my Traveler Crewneck. This is by Andrea Mowry, and I have actually put in progress markers on both sides so you can see where I was and where I'm now. Don't worry, this is going to block out quite a bit. The pattern actually stated that it's going to grow by, I'm not sure about the exact numbers, but I can put them here. And so maybe if you look at the sleeves, you'll think that looks a bit puckered. I think it should be fine whenever this blocks out. So I am using Pearl Soho Good Wool for this Traveler Crewneck, and I have been working on it for many months. I think I started this like last September or sometime around then, not sure, but it's been on my needles for quite a long time, and it's never really been my most prioritized knit. It had lots of new techniques that I had not tried before. This is my first bottom-up adult size garment. I'd only made a children's t-shirt bottom-up before, and this also has some different techniques as well. This is also on quite short, on quite small needles in comparison to some other projects I had done. I think this is a 375, which isn't the smallest thing, but because of the texture, it does sometimes feel like you're knitting some of the rows more than once in a way, because it actually is that like squishy texture. This would be like, it would be possible for this to grow quite a bit, but I'm actually gonna see how it will whenever I do block it. So I was about here on the front of the garment, so I knitted all the way up. I had to do some short row shaping, and then I picked up my stitches in the back again where I was about here. This was right before the split for the sleeves, and I knit all the way from here where I've got my little progress marker all the way up here. Did my short row shaping as well. I actually really love the way in which these short rows look. And then I did a 3 needle bind off on the top, which I also really like, and it has an exposed seam, which we also kind of created on the sides of the project here. I hope you're able to see what I'm trying to show you. And so this, it will have quite a lot of structure and then also be quite slouchy, I think, in a way, which I think is a perfect kind of combination for a crewneck sweater. And when I had connected everything in the body, I picked up for the crewneck and I knitted a single, just a single layer crewneck. I didn't do it double or like fold it over. I just followed the pattern basically. And then just a couple of days ago, I sewed down, I would say that's what it's called, the underarms. You can actually see there are 2 like underarm flaps here that were actually part of the body. You had to sew them down and then pick up for the sleeve. And that's what I did. And now I'm, I would say like maybe 7-8 centimeters in, a couple of repeats, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeats into the sleeve, and I am doing increases within those sleeve repeats. Sorry, like I said, I'm a bit not feeling too well physically today, so I am feeling really good about this knitting project though, and I can't really wait to wear this. So this is one of my priorities to finish till the end of the month. We don't have many days left. It's the 25th of February, and February is the shortest month, so this might be a stretch. But I think I'd prefer, or like I'd prioritize this over my next project, which I also want to get done soon. I have so many plans to cast on, but also I want to honor my whips and then soon to be finished objects, because I really want to wear them. But yeah, I think I'll try and get as much progress done on this sleeve as I can today, and then I can probably assess if I'll be able to finish it by the end of the month. But I'll just try. I have the whole day because I had to cancel my plans because I wasn't feeling well, and I don't want to make anyone else sick if I am going to get sick. Like I just don't know. And my sore is really throat. My throat is really sore. So yeah, trying not to lose too many more words over this. I love the Pearl Soho. I've been saying that every time I get the chance to, and I really love the squish of this project, and I actually can't wait to have this finished, and I'm pretty sure I will have it finished by my next episode. So my next work in progress is my test knit for Rebecca Clow. It's the Lauder Vest V-neck. And I am using Ulysses by Jerome Natura and a woolly yarn Surrey. For this, the Ulysses is in Poire et Sel or Poivre et Sel. I don't speak fluent like French, so please don't come at me for mispronouncing that. And then the Surrey is in Crystal something, I think Crystal Grey. I've actually used that for another one of my projects. That was I actually think I used it for this as well. Yeah, so it's the same Surrey, which is fantastic, and that was such a great use, like value for money, because it wasn't that expensive, and it would have been so much more expensive if I got like cakes of the Surrey. I've actually now wound all of the Surrey from the cone into this. So this is the last of the Surrey that I have. It'll completely be enough. I have lots more of the Ulysses. I probably have more than I need for the vest, because I'm thinking about maybe cropping it by maybe 2 centimeters. Let me just show you before I'll move on. This is my Lauder Vest. I am completely in love with it. I'm actually really proud of this. I've run into some problems with my row gauge. Last time I showed you this, I was telling you about how I was waiting on Rebecca to reply to some of my questions, and some other testers had similar issues with that. They were having problems matching the depth of the underarm and the underarm increases with the depth of the V-neck, and kind of like when to join V-neck, like the fronts, and when to join the underarm, and having everything be in pattern, so the front and the back side connect, so when everything's in the round, like the pattern repeat is just going to work out. And at some point I just put it away for like maybe even 2 weeks, at least 1 week. I had to put it to the side just because I didn't want to rush forwards and then have Rebecca reply with maybe suggesting ribbing back or saying something else, and I just wanted to first of all, love my end result, of course, but then also be a good tester and give feedback on like aspects of the pattern that weren't clear enough to me, which I think is the main reason for people to test. So other people will then, if they buy the pattern, they will have all the clarity they'll need. This is my first cabled garment project, so I think it's easy enough. Like the cables aren't a problem. I'm using a prim cable needle. I am going to, on another project, try out the cabling without a cable needle, but with this I'm just really comfortable using them every, I think, fourth row or something. So yeah, I'm just really happy using it. I think I have about 10 centimeters left in the body. Like I said, I don't want to have it like super cropped so it's not wearable, but because I think my torso is shorter in kind of like comparison to the rest of my body, I think my legs take up more space than my torso does, pretty much. I didn't want this to be, I mean, if I'm holding it like where it's probably going to sit, it's already like at my belly button, and I think having it maybe this much longer and like just hitting my jeans, because I'm wearing high-waisted bottoms most of the time, just like having it go like maybe this much over my jeans, so if I'm like maybe pulling up my hands, it'll not like move all the way up to my like over my belly button, but it also not like sitting awkwardly, like having too much fabric in the back. That's actually something I've learned much more about with my sewing journey, like where to have the appropriate amount of fabric in a way, which I think designing is about all of the time mostly. So this was also something that I really wanted to finish in February, but I also really don't want to rush through my projects. No matter how like excited I am for everything else that I want to do, I just really want to enjoy the progress. And cabling has been really fun. But it has also been a bit hard on my hands. So I don't just want to kind of rush through this. Like I said, I have maybe between like 5 to 10 centimeters left in the body. I don't have the exact numbers in my head right now, but it's not too much. I could do that in a couple of days, and then I'll just have to finish off the V-neck and the armholes with a ribbing. I'm going to show you the back side. I was probably around, because I had not joined the fronts, I was about here on this line in the back and a bit more up in the front. So I think I've actually made some significant progress. So I was probably around here and then a bit further in the back. So I think I knitted like half the garment these last 2 weeks maybe, or since I last spoke to you, which like I said, I really wanted to film today because I went to Cologne last weekend and I wasn't able to film. I could have vlogged, but I just wanted to embrace my time with my friend who I went with. We went to a Noah Khan concert, I told you last time, and did lots of like crafty window shopping and then some actual shopping. And so yeah, I just wanted to focus on that. But since, like I said, I'm probably not going to be able to finish both of these garments till the end of this month, because there's only like 4 more days, I'm going to try and focus on my traveler. And then next up, I'm going to focus on the vest. I think I have until the 20th of March to finish it, so I'll be I'll have plenty of time. My next work in progress, I already have one finished sock. I thought it'd be nice to finish the second one for today's video, but I didn't, and that's okay. But I could tell that a yarn, like a sock yarn that I'm like really into, will help me with my second sock syndrome quite a bit. And also immediately casting on my second sock after finishing my first also helps. I'm doing the Summer Camp Socks by Jill Zielinski. They're a free pattern on Ravelry. I have adjusted some of the specs. She didn't say like how many rows you could do, you should do for the stripes, so I just measured and like created them in like the way I thought they looked nice. I've seen other people do like 3 stripes, shorter stripes, or wider stripes or more narrow stripes, and I think they all look fantastic. I really wanted this to have quite a long leg, so maybe even the stripes I think would come up over the like leg of my Blundstone boots, which I think would look really nice. This is the Coast to Coast Yarn Co. Potato Soup and Leek colorway, and I love them. I think I'll finish them within this probably next week, but also sock projects have been more so like I'm walking and knitting project, or maybe I'm like on my lunch break and want just to knit some rows knitting, so I'm not rushing them. That's what they look like. And I'm always so happy whenever I've finished the heel. That just means I'm like on the home stretch. And I've just really been into sock knitting again lately. This is going to be my 3rd finished sock of this year. And then let me show you my 4th sock project. I really wanted a true vanilla sock after doing some like special things for all of my latest knitted socks. I did a couple of lace socks and then these ribbed socks, and I'm actually craving a 2x2 ribbed sock now, but I had this special sock yarn by Sewrella yarns in stash from the Autumn in New York collection, which Chelsea from True Lane Knits gave me. And I was really looking forward to someday knit with it, and that day was a couple of weeks ago, and I started knitting this vanilla sock. This is Jazz in the Park and Brian Park, and they'll actually will have to stretch out because you can actually see the magic loop, like the gauge is a bit tighter on the sides, but I'll just show you like this. This was one of the 2 projects I brought to Cologne with me as well, so I did quite a bit of knitting at a cafe on these, and I really enjoy the color way. I'm actually going to show you another project where I also put in a square of this Sewrella yarn, the Brian Park. So it's also in my Sweet Shop blanket. I have not done all the squares that I wanted to do this February, mostly because I've been working on other stuff, but I'm also dreading the moment where I'll run out of the double Sunday. And since I don't want to kind of spend too much money on yarn this year, I thought I'd just ask for this for my birthday, which is in about maybe 6 weeks, I think. Yeah, I think so. And because this is my last one, so I'm going to try and stretch this last skein till mid-April, where maybe hopefully I'll get more skeins for my birthday. If not, I'll have to order them myself. I was also wondering maybe if someone had some in stash that they didn't want. This is the colorway 2321, so I'd be happy to buy this off of a D stash, especially if you like for some reason have the same dye lot. Mine is the 0111395. So if you do possibly have this in stash, feel free to text me. I'll show you. But yeah, otherwise I'm going to try, I think I can get 5 squares out of this. So I'll try and finish this row, which are 4 more squares. So I just started a new row with the Jazz in the Park by Sewrella, and I'm going to try to do 1, 2, 3, 4 more squares to finish off the 4th kind of like row in a way, until my birthday. And then maybe I'll either maybe buy more double Sunday off of someone's tea stash, or I'll get it for my birthday, or I get it myself. That is a very long tangent to say that I enjoy my vanilla socks, and I have also already put in the colorway into my Sweet Shop link kit. So it's a double project update in one, and just a way of telling you that I enjoy my knitted socks. I mostly wear my knitted socks in the winter time. I kind of wear them almost daily, and so yeah, I don't think I can ever have too many socks. But yeah, this is actually also a great moment to share about my Sewrella affiliation. If you ever want to shop anything with Sewrella yarns, they currently this weekend have the winter ballet collection, and then up until maybe mid-March, I think, hopefully that's correct, they'll have the winter tonals in stock, and then and I think throughout the end of March they'll switch over to the spring tonals. So whenever you want to shop any of their pre-order collections or their in-stock market, their teas or hand creams or wool soaps, you can do so by clicking on my affiliate link in my description box. And so through that, like that way, I also make a small commission off of that purchase without any further cost to you. I know for people in the EU that is not as easy, because you still have to pay quite a bit for shipping and customs, but I know that more than half of the people watching these videos, at least whatever YouTube tells me about who you are from the US. So I think in a way it does still make sense for me to kind of advertise for a hand dyeing yarn company that I enjoy working with and that have kindly asked me to be part of that program. So like I said, I've talked about it in my last episode. I just wanted to talk a bit more about it. It hasn't worked the last time I put it in because the link kept on messing up in a way. I don't think there was enough space for it. I've put in a new link. Whenever there's problems with links, you can always text me. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. And there was also a problem with the link for our Cumulus mini cowl, and I've also fixed that. I am not a pro when it comes to Discord, and I realized I'd always just put in a link that expired 7 days later. But I've learned my lesson. I have now created a link that is good or like valid forever. But we'll probably close the Discord whenever we actually start the cowl, which is going to be maybe within the first week of March. So we'll start it around the 1st of March. I also talked about this with Julia, who is the co-host of the cowl. And she also said that it might be nice, because now we're almost at 150 people in the Discord. We thought it'd be nice if at some point we closed the group down, so it would just be the people that are in there till then. And then we're thinking about creating some more channels, maybe to separate kind of discussions about the shirt and blouse, because all cumuli, we call them cumuli, all Cumulus patterns are allowed in that cowl, and patterns whips are welcome and everything. So if you still want to join that cowl that is starting quite soon, you can still do so. Just wanted to give you a heads up that I'm just human. I'm by no means perfect, and I really appreciate feedback that is kind, and I've really been receiving quite a bit of that recently, and I really appreciate that. I'm also going to try and put in some chapters. Some people have asked for that, and I could tell that there was a kind of a request for that, because it wasn't just one person. I can't obviously accommodate every person's individual preferences, but in that case I thought that a couple of people really thought that was a great idea, and I also think it's a great thing, even though I personally don't really use it. I just watch the episode while I'm crafting myself most of the time. I thought it'd be really helpful if someone wanted to go back to a video and then look for the part in which I probably, or personally, I in my videos was talking about a specific project and I had said something that they wanted to remember or something like that. Or in another case, if I'm talking about a project that they're not interested in, they could skip that part. So I'm going to try that. Also, I'm going to try and not hand out expired links to you guys. I'm not a pro at this. I'm new to this. This is my first affiliate thing. And I'm really picky about stuff like that. Like I won't tell you guys about things that I don't really like love. Sorry about the expired links. I'm going to try and be better. That was it about the knitting as far as I can tell. Like I hope I'm not oh no, actually after working all day yesterday, I went to a class at Strickverliebt, the yarn shop I work at in Marburg, and I tried something new. I'm actually going to test a brioche design by my friend Bridget Zoo this summer. We have talked about it. She wanted to really make sure that I knew what I was setting up, like what I was getting myself in for. She wanted me to know more about the design, and I wanted to know more about the design before saying yes to it, just because I had set out to not test as much. That would be my third test knit of the year, and probably, hopefully, possibly the last one for like the first half of the year. Hopefully I can stick to that, but I will try and stick to that. So this will be my summer test knit. And so it's going to be a 2-color brioche. I hope that I can say this. I'm going to check in with her and text her later on. Otherwise I'll cut this out. But yeah, because this technique is going to be used in her shawl pattern, and I'm hoping and planning on hand spinning for it, possibly. I really wanted to learn this technique, and because Thorsten Duet, he's a like knitting teacher. I think he also has a YouTube podcast. He's quite popular within the German like knitting scene. He did a course in Strickverliebt yesterday night, and after work I participated in that course. And this is what I did. This is what I tried. So this is the right side of the 2-color like brioche, and this is the wrong side. And I think this is a really like effectful way of knitting, and it's a completely new technique to me. We also did some increases, as you can see here, and this is with 2 yarns that we have at the shop. 2 yarns that I really enjoy. This is the Cheeky Merino Joy by Rosy Green Wool. And this is a new color, a new yarn that we have at the shop, which is the light worsted spiral grain by Earth Yarns, which is a great alternative to the spin cycle yarns. This is a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get, possibly through our online shop if you want to try it, if you're in the EU, because I know spin cycle is not easy to get here, and it's about 10 euros more expensive per 50 grams than this is. So it was really nice to learn this new technique. And then before getting into the, one spinning project and one sewing project, and then show you some of my acquisitions, I wanted to talk about my swatches, because as the Cumulus cow is coming up, I wanted to swatch with the yarns I had intended to use for that cow and for that pattern for the longest time. This was this swatch, which is the Alva by Folcolana, and then the Trio 1 by Essaya. And these are still drying, but I can already tell that this is not going to be 10 centimeters wide with the amount of stitches. I could have maybe blocked them out a bit more. I didn't have enough space, so I should probably rejig this board and give it a bit more space and see how many stitches I'll get. But honestly, I don't really love the look for what I was envisioning. Luckily for me, I did some shopping in Cologne and I found this amazing Esther twinny and mohair, silk mohair in this beautiful forest green / teal. I honestly have an obsession with this color. My new Noah Khan Stick Season t-shirt that I got, and a Skims like shirt. I use them as bras. They're like cropped elastic kind of like shirts. I'm actually wearing one of them right here, just not trying to flash you guys, but like it's this kind of thing, and I have it in a teal, kind of like petrol-y. I can't really explain the color, but I love it. Like I've been obsessed with this kind of green, bluish, tealy, like jewel toned green, and I can't even tell you why, but I found this in Garn store in Cologne, and I got it. And I have not like really checked if that is on gauge, but it looks like this is going to be 10 centimeters, a lot more than this is going to be 10 centimeters. So this should be fine. And I'm going to knit a Cumulus blouse in this version. That obviously means that I got some more yarn, which I actually wasn't looking for, like buying more yarn. But it happens sometimes that there's plans that come up in your life and you just fall in love with them. And it was the same thing with this one. This is like a half swatch, so don't be fooled by the miniatureness, like tininess of this. This is the Rain Cloud and Sage alpaca. Rain Cloud and Sage was a local project by a woman called Ruth. She tried and used more German wools that weren't really used for knitting, but more so used to kind of burn. I think they made like pellets from it and then used for literally burning. Like they didn't use these wools. And then and this obviously has 50% wool and 50% alpaca. And I had been toying with the idea of getting some of her yarns. I actually used her unspun for my the Traveler cardigan by, is it Ozetta or Kadri? Not even sure anymore. But we have some of her yarn left over at the shop. And then a couple of months ago, Esther announced their archives collection, and I saw Petite Knit's contribution to that, the Esther jacket, and I fell in love with that. And so I spent most days of my week at the shop, and I am kind of looking at all the yarns all the time. And so I have been looking for something that would look as perfect as Petite Knit's version of the Esther jacket does. I really like the way in which it looks like a classic Aran, like 70s inspired cream kind of like jacket that could also like work as outerwear. And so I got this as well. Yeah, I did some shopping. I'm not going to talk about my stash about my stash numbers right now. I'm probably going to do another update like mid-year and then another one at the end of the year. As I said, I want to do a net negative at the end of the year for my stash, and I'm still on track with that. I've sold quite a bit of yarn, and I like working on finishing 2 projects, so it was okay for me to buy these. Both are really special yarn sweater quantities, and I'm going to cast both of them on as soon as I finish my other 2 projects. So these are coming up, a Cumulus blouse and the Esther jacket by Petite Knit. Just wanted to make sure I talk about this. Since this swatch didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, I have been thinking about how to repurpose the yarn. I think because I don't love how they look together, like anyways, like I don't think they'll make a Cumulus blouse that I want to wear. So I was thinking about maybe putting the the Focolana Alva back into my stash. I could use it with another vest quantity that I have, possibly hold it with that unspun woolen twine yarn and make a vest out of it. Yardage should be fine with that. And then the trio, I have enough of it, and it's a lace, so I'm not sure on gauge, but I could see myself getting some more pure silk from our shop. So yeah, I'm thinking about getting some pure silk later on in the summer and holding the trio with pure silk to make a blouse number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I really like the look of that pattern. I actually swatched for this pattern, tried to get the gauge of that pattern on a 5mm needle this morning because I had already reshuffled some of the ideas and was going with this for my Cumulus. So I was trying to see if this would work out for blouse number 1, but I don't think it will. I don't really love the alpaca in this, so I think trying it out with the dark cognac by the pure silk from Knitting for Olive, I think would be a great idea, but I'm not going to buy that yet. I'm sorry, I have a hair stuck in my face and it's really bothering me. Later down the line, I want to get some more of the summery yarns whenever I've knit some more from stash, so that is going to go on the back burner, and I could really see myself making the blouse number 1 maybe if when I'm on vacation in Croatia this summer. Just a really lightweight trio and pure silk. I think trio is like linen, silk and viscose or something. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I'm now just rambling on, so I'm going to put this away and feel like I have updated you guys on what's going on with my projects. And yeah, now onto my spinning project. I am taking part in the DRK Spin It to Knit It Knit Along, but I've actually already finished this one bobbin before because I'm also spinning with my friends Anna and Casey from Brook Willow and Young Folk Knits, and I have already spun half of my combo spin with 2 different braids from Frau Wölfchen, who we also sell at the shop, and I got this when she was doing a trunk show at a pop-up store at our store, which was such a great thing to like be part of and experience. And I really love this single already, and I'm gonna show you in a close-up because that didn't work out the last time I tried to. And so yeah, this is the combo spin, and then I got off of Etsy some really special fiber. This is a Manx Lockton, which is a special sheep breed from the Isle of Man. And this has a really special colorway, which can only be found in a couple of breeds naturally, which is a shade called Murret. It's so soft, it's already like falling apart. I've really been enjoying learning more about the breeds that I knit with, I spin and knit with, and this has a really nice staple length, and like it is really nice to draw out. I'm doing a short forward, I'm doing a woolen worsted spun with this, going to do a 2-ply, so this is going to be plied together. I have about half a bobbin spun up, and I'm hopeful to spin up the rest of the bobbin so I can do my first plying session maybe at the end of this upcoming week. I have not had the time that I would really love to get with my spinning and knitting. Honestly, I have been working quite a bit, and so yeah, I hope that I can maybe make some more time for my making again. But saying that now, I know how much time I actually get for my making in comparison to some like maybe other people, so I don't want to complain too much. So yeah, I'm going to do the Traveler Shawl. I should have enough to do size 2. There's 2 sizes, I think, but I'll see how it goes, and I'll just enjoy the spinning. The cowl goes for a year. I hope to maybe cast on whenever I finish my first skein. Maybe I'll see like what Anna and Casey say, if we do another like FaceTime together, if we want to cast on maybe at the same time. So we would all have to see that we wait for everyone to finish. But yeah, no concrete plans on that yet, but that is my current spinning project to knit with. I also have one project I actually didn't even show you because there is no progress on this, so I'll just give you a sneak peek. My storm sweater is still going to be worked on just after I finish my 2 current projects. And I'm not usually a person to put projects to the side for too long, so I hope to be like picking it up again quite soon. But it's just at a place in which it's not just as easy to pick it up again, because I would literally have to pick up stitches to do so, and then sometimes I get like a blockage in my head, like there's like a barricade in my head saying, but if you pick it up you'll have to like read through the pattern again, and then like, I mean, maybe it's just stupid, but I just wanted to focus on other stuff, and I think that's also fine. I'm also working on a beanie, the Pihlaja Beanie by Jenny Ansah, and that's at work, so I can't show you. I have finished about 12 centimeter of twisted ribbing just during work. Whenever I have a couple of minutes, I get some rows in, and that is also going to be a project or a finished object that lives at the shop part-time, but is still my my beanie that I can wear. But like I said, I did that as part of the 52 weeks of accessory cast on party that we did, and I'm close to starting the cable design, because I'm only folding my hat once. The original pattern asked for you to knit much more than that and then fold it 3 times, which I am not doing. I can't see myself doing that. So yeah, that's all about the spinning and knitting. Sorry, that was a bit all over the place, but now I'm actually going to show you my last thing, which is sewing. And this is my first ever finished sewn garment. Let me introduce you to my first spring shirt. I got this fabric from Pigeon and Wishes. This was kindly gifted to me by them. I have lots more fabric that I really want to work with that they have given to me, which was really kind of them. I've actually sewn in my Handmade by Marlene tag. And this is possibly not the neatest thing because it was my first garment project, but I did get, so this is going to be kind of, I'm going to talk about the sewing and some of my acquisitions from Cologne as well. We went to this shop called Selfmade, and I got 2 of these. So I was walking around the shop, got some things that I really wanted to, that I really wanted to get for some time now for my sewing journey, because I just felt sometimes that I was stuck in some places because I didn't have the things that I needed. For example, a cutting board and a like rolling cutter thingy, I'm not sure, and then some fleece, which I really want to use for a vest. So a vest was the thing that I really wanted to sew this year. A top and a skirt, or maybe some pants would also be something that I would enjoy doing. Now I did my first top. I could really see myself doing a vest and a skirt next. So I got this fleece to do a padded, like a quilt. Is it quilted? I think so. Like, yeah, quilted vest. And then I got another zipper to knit myself a project pouch. And then I got 2 of these Selfmade patterns. This is a skirt that has 3 different ways of kind of like a long, a short, and a kind of pleated, or like, I'm not even sure what the words are, but like 3 different versions. And I got the same for the top. So I made version 1 of the top and then I cropped it a bit. So these were kind of the adjustments that I made. I got these because they were like €4, I think. They're really inexpensive, and they have like the cutout pattern in them already, which I am a bit intimidated about, kind of like buying a pattern on Etsy, and some of them are actually really expensive. Like one pattern I'm looking at doing is the Ruby Vest, and that's like €18. So I thought before doing any of these more expensive patterns, I'll try some more inexpensive ones. And then if I get it, I'll have to print it. I don't have a printer at home, so I'll have to do it somewhere else and then have to like stick them together or like print them on a really like big scale. So there are just too many kind of like things that I was thinking about that were making it seem more impossible to do it. So I just thought, just try out something really easy. Another thing that I changed is that I did a facing that was a lot easier than the one that the pattern was asking for. That was asking for and now I'm missing the word. It's called Schrägband in German, and I'm missing the English word. So I did a facing here. It's not the neatest work, but I learned a bit more about cleaning up my edges. My friend Marla, she's Knit Not Sew on Instagram, helped me massively with this project. I actually cut out everything and made a plan on how I wanted to sew it. And then one night after work, she works at the shop that I work at as well. She came over, Hannes made us some dinner, and then we just sat at the sewing machine all night. Not all night, but like for a couple of hours, and she helped me make this. Or she helped me with like half of the progress, and then the next day I finished it up. And you can tell at some of the parts, you can actually, I think you're really able to tell that I'm a beginner with all of this. Probably this is puckering a bit, but I haven't washed it now after finishing. But yeah, I'm still really proud. This is not going to become a sewing channel, but I have recently coined it a making channel, other than just calling it a podcast, a knitting podcast, just because I have been learning so many new crafts and skills and really embracing that part of my creativity. And so yeah, I really wanted to share that as well. So I hope you do enjoy that. I will always just probably talk about spinning and then sewing more so at the end of the episodes, just so if you're just into the knitting of it, you can watch until then. So I'm just gonna lay down now. I'm gonna rest my voice for the rest of the day, not talk to anyone, and just knit a bit, work on my works in progress, and then I'll hope to give you another more finished object heavy episode in 1 or 2 weeks. Thank you so much for not minding too much about the non-regular like scheduled episodes. I'll just try and fit filming in whenever I can, and yeah, I feel quite good that I did it today, and now I'll try and edit it so it gets out to you fast. I hope you're taking care of yourselves and those around you. I hope you're getting loads of making time, whatever you choose to spend your free and creative time on, and whatever you're making. And thank you so much for being here, for supporting this channel, and yeah, for spending some virtual knitting time with me. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
You're bound to